Hello, my super friends. Welcome to your super new moon in Scorpio reading. This is going to be happening on November 4th. It's going to be at its newest at 3:14 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So wherever you're at in the world, you can adjust that to see where that is going to be at its newest for you. Now, normally new moons are all about the newness because it's starting the new cycle, but with it being Scorpio, there is this extra rebirth energy that is around it. So you've got, your birth, your death, and your rebirth. It's like like a phoenix. You know how they originally rise from the ashes and grow, and then they build a nest to set on fire and things to go back to ashes and have a rebirth. And that is very Scorpio-ish because Scorpio is all about transformation. They transform from a scorpion to a snake to an eagle to a phoenix. So they're very transformative, and so that energy is really around this. It's like this, with the new moon, there's hardly any light. So it does feel a little dark during the new moon, but it is a time that we face our shadow. So it's our little shadow time where we get to dance with our shadow and understand, about what is blocking us, what is chaining us, what's holding us back. So with this new moon, we also get a burst of new energy with that rebirth. So as that phoenix takes flight on a new journey with that super new moon energy, it is a very magical time for us as well. So even though it feels dark, when you rise from the ashes and that phoenix catches on fire, right? And it shows the flames coming from its wings, and you are this brightness in that dark times. You get to see your inner light more and more when it's dark out, not when it's bright sunshiny out, right? What's amazing too is the last full moon we had in Scorpio was back in April 26th, and that was a pink super full moon. And so there's also this cycle that happens just monthly. We go through the cycle of the new moon to the full moon back to the new moon, but also over a 6-month period ish, you go from a new moon in a sign to a full moon in a sign back to a new moon in a sign. So you have this big cycle of energy that are happening, these 12 different cycles that are happening throughout a year, actually, right? Because every 6 months you go through this different sign of new moon to full moon. And so you have these 12 separate annual cycles happening with each of those influences of those zodiac signs. So if you look back around April 26th to really look at that pink super full moon, what was going on then was a time of releasing negative energy. So I was talking about like a dance with your shadow. You were becoming familiar with it because you were dancing with it, seeing it eye to eye, right? And during that time, you see what no longer serves you. And so you started to let go of things and making room for new things. Because after a full moon, as you're moving to the new moon, once you reach that culmination of a full moon, then it's like, what am I releasing to make room for new growth when the new moon comes around? So with this new moon in Scorpio happening, you are left dancing with your shadow, and you get to see what's new. What new dance steps are you going to develop as you begin a new dance routine over the next 6 months. So as we go into this reading, we're kind of going to look at what has my feet chained, what's keeping me from dancing so fluently, what's impacting my rhythm. So that's what we're going to look at for the specific reading for your sign, and we're going to jump into that right now. All right, all my Cancer signs, this is your reading for the super new moon in Scorpio. And in the intro, I totally spaced talking about why this is a super new moon. The actual orbit of the moon around the Earth is not like this perfect circle. It's more of this oval shape. And so when it's in the closer oval, closer to the Earth, that's when you have the super new moon and the super full moons. And so that's when it's closest to the Earth. That's why like a full moon it's super, it feels bigger because it is closer to the Earth. And it's not like, thousands of miles closer. It's close, it's not like this much of it's more like this much of an orbit. So it's not like super close, like, oh my gosh, but it's close enough where it does impact us a little differently. It does appear to be closer. So that energy is more expanded, and the veil with the moon energy is actually thinner as well. So that is why it is super, and we're going to see what's super about this period of time for you. Because it is a magical time, we're going to use these magic of the unicorn oracle, I can say it, to see what the Creator wants you to know overall for this new moon period. And we're going to look at like the 3 weeks around the new moon, the week before the new moon, up to 2 weeks after the new moon, right before the next full moon. So Creator, for our Cancer signs, what do you want them to know about this new moon period? Okay, there we go. Yep, you've got caring community. Beautiful, I love that. And it says, card number 25, participate and belong, enrich your life. So definitely it's a period, I know you being a water sign and you being ruled by the moon, you have this special connection, of course. And so you feel things so deeply. You feel the moon so much. You probably never feel like you are not impacted by a moon, right? Because you're feeling the new moon probably a couple weeks before it happens, and the full moon before a couple weeks before it happens. So normally, a lot of people will go, they feel the new moon energy and then it wanes, and then they feel the full moon energy and it wanes. You're kind of just more like whoop, 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 whoop. So you have this impact and you have this, awareness of it. So just know, if you ever wondered why am I so emotional? Why do I feel things so deeply? It's the design of your sign, but it's beautiful too, because not only do you have this ability to feel so much emotion deeply, and other people's emotions probably so deeply, and you probably have taken on other people's emotions so deeply, you also get to connect with your inner unconditional love, and you're so powerful that you're able to push that energy out into the world, and you can influence a room by the love that you exude. You also can impact a room by your shadowy emotion. So if mama ain't happy, the room ain't happy, right? If mama is full of joy, the room is full of joy. And if you realize that, then you understand your power. And with great power comes great responsibility, right? No, but let's look into this, because we were looking at, what also is keeping you, like keeping your feet chained as you're learning this new dance, with your shadow, with this new dance that you're developing. What's limiting your rhythm? And it has to do with you allowing yourself to connect, allowing yourself to interact with people, because you feel things so emotionally. It has at times caused you to pull back and build these walls, because it's so exhausting, right, to feel other people's emotions. But I really feel, and we'll see what unfolds here, it is about your ability to build this kind of like giant gel around you, this shield or this forest field. I look at it as this huge like gelatin forest field around me. I have a lot of water in my chart, so I understand. I feel like I think I just have one planet in Cancer, but I've got like 5 or 6 in Pisces and 1 in Scorpio too. So I have all this, I feel like I have a Cancer sign, right? I feel people's emotions, and it was overwhelming when I was growing up, but you learn to put this gelatin around you, and then an emotion comes in from other people and just sticks into the gelatin. You can still see it, you can touch it, but it doesn't impact you and doesn't come into you. So if you just imagine building this gelatin around you, It doesn't make you numb. It doesn't make you unfeeling, but it just protects you from taking on everyone else's emotions, right? So it's a little hint for you. But this says the world is starting to embrace an understanding of oneness. As this happens, fifth dimensional communities are starting to form. A caring community is based on heart-to-heart connection, kindness, inclusion, cooperation, seeing the best in others and empowering them. When you are part of this, you feel you belong and are supported, so you want to contribute joyfully for the highest good of all, and your life becomes enriched. If you're already part of a caring community, your guidance is actively to deepen your commitment to it. If you're not, it is to take a step towards co-creating a caring community in your workplace or your neighborhood. Smile at a neighbor, talk to someone, volunteer, plant some flowers in a communal place, or actively do something to bring people together. You can make a difference. Your community is part of your support system. It roots you into your area. The more you participate, the more you belong, and the safer you feel. Spiritually, it lights up all your chakras. During the legendary golden era of Atlantis, the people formed fifth dimensional communities in which they worked and played together in a way that served the communal good. Each individual contributed what brought them soul satisfaction, and this was embraced, encouraged by everyone. Living in a happy, caring, fifth dimensional community enabled them to maintain a high frequency, so unicorns connected to them. And so there's two things they mention. The first one is take steps towards community. So be kind to someone today. Actively include someone. Wow. Yeah, definitely that would be kind of different from our society as it is today, right? We kind of are feeling the contrast of unity and oneness. And so this definitely is what the world needs you right now. So be kind to someone today and actively include someone. And then the other thing is visualize community. Close your eyes and call your unicorn. Ask it to fill you with fifth dimensional community light. Picture every dwelling in your area radiating pink and gold light. Every front door is wide open. People are talking to each other and laughing. Everyone is happily cooperating for the highest good of all. Notice how this feels. Beautiful. And the affirmation for this is, I bring people together. Wow. Blown away. That is amazing. I mean, definitely you can make a difference, and the world needs you now. Yeah, definitely, with all the division that's out there, with all the fear, this love that you can bring is going to be amazing. All right, we're also going to pull some cards here from this Light Seers Tarot. And like I mentioned, what we're going to do, we're going to pull a card here to represent the week before the new moon, the week after the new moon, and then 2 weeks after the new moon, right before the next full moon. One more time here. All right, creators, so for our Cancer signs, what do you want them to know about the week before this new moon? And for you, you're probably feeling this the week, 2 weeks before the new moon. But so just know that for you. And then what about the week after the new moon? Okay, you want that one. And then what about 2 weeks after? So the week or 2 weeks before the new moon, you've got the Page of Swords. And this is beautiful because this represents two things. First of all, a page is someone who brings news, right? So back in the olden days, it was the hear ye, blah, blah, blah. When they would go to the towns, they're the pages. So they're the messengers, the deliverers of messages. And with it being swords is your mind. So your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations, that type of thing. But because this is the swords and it's a page, you're getting these messages in your mind. So you're getting communication that is kind of like dropping into your head. So these ideas that come out of nowhere, these memories that come out of nowhere, I've been thinking about something and suddenly it pops into your head. That's spirit connecting with you and bringing you messages into your brain. So any new ideas that are popping in, creative ideas, just know that's that part of that co-creative energy that spirit is wanting to interact with you. And so as you open up to that and connect to this, love and this caringness and this willingness to do so, just know that you'll have those ideas on how to include people, how to, impact and make changes in your community, that those ideas will come to you. So just know that. The other thing is with pages is that they represent children and the younger ones. And for me, what spirit and I have this understanding, pages mean going back to this place as a child before you were influenced with the praise and punishment of adults and society and all of that, before we were pulled out of our innocence of children and, started to get brainwashed and conditioned, right? So the swords, our minds as children, before we started having all that, we were open to anything. The world was this new adventure. There's all these possibilities. There's all these ideas. No idea was stupid. It's like, hey, let me try sticking this, needle in, or this fork in the light socket. Oh, wow, that's electricity. We have no bad ideas as a child. And that's this freshness that comes into your mind during this time frame. You're having old ways fall away, and you have these new ideas that are coming because you're allowing this openness. You don't feel like life has to happen like this. You're just allowing your mind to be open to new ways of thinking and new possibilities. So I love that. Then the week after the new moon, you have the Eight of Swords. So yeah, definitely you're understanding, you're taking this time and this reflection is happening, and you're understanding those thoughts and those beliefs that you had for yourself that were binding you and blinding you to things. So you're understanding that, what was keeping you bound is your own personal beliefs and expectations of yourself in the world. And it's a powerful card because you realize that your emotions and your feelings and your restrictiveness and your limitedness and everything, it was developed, all these opinions came from the outside world, right? Like we're talking about, this page before, as a child, before you had all that stuff come, you felt free. But then all this opinion came, and we were children. We didn't know any better. We're like, oh, okay, that's the way it's supposed to be and should be and needs to be and has to be. We're punished. We're like, okay, I'll do that because I don't like being punished. We're praised. Oh, I'm going to do that because I like receiving praise. So all this conditioning happened, and it started to bind us and started making us feel limited and restricted. So like I talked about before, that's what makes us feel like this, so we started off like this, and as those expectations and all those rules, our lives became very, very, very restricted, right? And this is that awareness that comes from that, because you're being able to see it in this mirror. And the mirror, it does show you every relationship, every individual that comes into our life is our teacher. They are our mirror. So anything we're feeling towards anyone else, we can take a look at inside us and go, how am I doing that to myself? It's like when we look at someone going, oh, they betrayed me. It's like, oh, how did I betray myself? Like in a relationship, one of the things that helped me heal these hurt feelings I had from, multiple relationships that were supposed to be, we agreed that we were going to be, monogamous, and then I'd come to find out it wasn't. I was like, oh, maybe that was just my idea. You're like, oh, they betrayed me. But I realized all my hurt was coming because I was betraying myself. I was defining myself by this other person instead of defining myself by how I felt about myself, about, this inner unconditional love that I have. I was betraying myself. It's like the ultimate relationship is the relationship with you, your self-love. But I was looking outside of my self-love relationship for my love. And so I was the one cheating on myself. See how that works? Those mirrors will show us and reveal things to us. And if you want to get to the root of those, one of the Byron Katie, beautiful, beautiful soul on this earth, she has this process at thework.com. It's just THEWRRK.com. She has a beautiful process that asks questions to help you do these turnarounds and understand. I think it's called a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. And it shows us how, we can get to the root of what's really at our core that's causing all that chaos and that angst and all those uncomfortable emotions inside. So if you want to look into that, I highly recommend it. And then the second week after the new moon, yay! Yep, you connect to your higher self, the star. It's hope. You have this lifeline to your higher self and to the higher spiritual realms here. So you definitely are connecting to your higher community. So there's definitely a caring community way up above, and you realize as you connect to that inner love that you do have this amazing, it's like this umbilical cord to our higher selves. And you realize that you're more than just this human character. You are this star, this actor behind the character, this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And when you connect to that, you feel that you have this entire community. So you see yourself as this bright star, and it's full of all these other stars too, and so you have these, the creator, spirit, guardian angels and spirit guides and loved ones who've lived here with you and have passed and gone back to the other side, and ancestors and unicorns and fairies and whatever other beings of unconditional love and light you believe in. Even those you don't believe in are out there loving you unconditionally, and there's this huge community that's available to you there as well. So not only do you have this physical community, you have this beautiful community of beings of unconditional love that you can trust, that are always there for you, always around you, never sleep, always working for your highest experience here. And so you can connect with them, and actually the more you do that, you do fill up, and then that flows out into your physical community of those around you. So I definitely love this reference to your higher community as well. And since this is like the journey of your, the phoenix is rising from the ashes and starting its new journey, we're going to pull a card here from the Cosmic Journey Oracle and just see what the final message the Creator has for you for this new moon period. The Creator, for our Cancer signs, what's your final message for them? Okay, that one right there. I love it. Out of the mess comes elegant order. Card number 20. Beautiful, I love that. All right, let's see what message comes from this for you. Yeah, it says, everything looks messy in the middle. If you knew that, you would be more allowing of the messes that show up. The universe is always seeking order and novelty at the same time. The novelty creates new ideas, pathways, and variations. The order creates coherence and consistency. Realize the chaos, confusion, and turmoil are exactly what's needed now. Otherwise, you'd come to the exact same thought that thousands of others have had before you. Nobody thinks they want a mess, but what if that is necessary to create something bigger and grander? Baking is full of broken eggs and spilled flour, but then the alchemical process turns our mess into a delicious cake. Yum. Don't sweep the mess under the rug. Embrace, acknowledge, and appreciate each one. It's reassuring to know that there are no more breakthroughs without breakdowns. You cannot clean up a mess. It has to be reconceived, transformed, and transcended into another elevated creation. I love that. The cosmic catalyst is, what are the ways I can fully appreciate my biggest so-called mess right now? So definitely looking back over, what has happened in your life, and what can you appreciate about it? What did it teach you? Like I was talking about with those, my exes that, I consider them my teachers that continued to show me what I wanted to know about myself until I saw it, right? They were able to show me how I felt about myself. And so when you look back at our so-called messes, we can learn so much from them. So look at your biggest so-called mess and what can you fully appreciate about it? And then the cosmic checkbox says, list all the messes in your life along with 3 ways you appreciate each one. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, that will definitely help you with your caringness for your community, because, I really feel that what's holding you back is the pain that you have felt, because you do feel, like I mentioned, things so deeply that you have a lot of pain from people's actions, but you're able to look back at that now, and with this awareness that's coming, and you're able to transform that. And I love it, love it, love it for you. All right. Well, just know as you're going throughout this new moon, and actually every day of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. In addition to these new moon and full moon readings, I do also have like monthly by zodiac sign readings. I also do a weekly by zodiac element reading and a variety of other readings. So if you want to be kept in the loop when those come out, if you haven't done so already, just hit the subscribe button down below. And when you do that, then this little bell icon appears, and if you click on that, then that allows you to get notifications of when those other readings come out. So I definitely love you very much. You have an amazing new moon, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. You take care.